Hello, 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 and welcome to this week's edition of Car Talk. And it's the first edition of Car Talk, where I use the time in the car and the waiting at the lights to talk with you a little bit about stuff that's on my mind. And it's the stuff I wouldn't usually take time out of my day to talk about. Not because it's not important, but because I don't prioritize it. So, this week's edition is about the excuses we all have ready to shoot for ourselves on why we don't do stuff. Why we don't have the time to do this piece of content now, why we don't have the right equipment and all that jazz. So, I think one of the most important things you need to realize quite quickly is that you will never get rid of all your excuses. The other thing is we all do it, some more and some less, and we all handle these excuses differently, which is absolutely fine. The biggest problem is if you think you don't have any, or if you think you can overcome it completely. That's not gonna work, and that's a challenge that's supposed to fail. And also, you would be too hard on yourself. It's not necessary to get rid of every excuse or every time you say, well, no, today I'm not shooting the sunrise for the 728th time, but I would rather stay in bed or binge a couple of episodes on Netflix or something like that. The problem is if it gets a habit. If you flip it upside down, so to speak, then it's a problem. When it's an 80-20 rule, but 80% of the time you follow your excuse and you fall for it, and then you won't do anything and you won't progress. And 20% of the time you progress and you do something, but you feel bad because you think about the other 80%, which is not quite good for your efficiency. Where your sweet spot is gonna be, or what you should do, at least in my opinion, and that's my humble opinion as one person and one creator, is if you have the 80-20 rule or 90-10 or whatever that might be for you, where you are 80% of the time, you progress, you do what's right, not what you might have an excuse for, and 20% of the time, you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and you just stay in bed or follow that excuse. And what that will do for you, and I found it quite useful, is you thin out the herd of excuses to the ones that have at least some kind of foundation. And it's not like an easy fix for a situation, right? You don't want to do it, boom, easy fix. You get that shot of excuse and that's it. And at least for me, that works quite well. For example, now I'm filming this on my iPhone, and today's phones are so good, almost any smartphone, you can just produce content, and the audio might be decent, but it's good enough. Because if you have the expectation for this setup in the car to be something that you record in a studio, then you're setting yourself up for failure, and you set the expectation so high and you are so hard to yourself that you would never fulfill that. But what I thought about when I installed that little socket with the phone was, well, I thought, oh shit, I don't have a external microphone. So maybe I should get an external microphone. Maybe I should wire myself up. And then I thought, well, if I do that, then I have to synchronize it. Okay, I need to bring my iPad to edit it on my laptop. And lo and behold, you are distracted like that. And all you do then is look up microphones or stuff on Amazon, and then you end up on YouTube because you need to verify if it's good or not. And then you watch the stuff that YouTube recommends to you instead of actually producing content. And that happens so quickly, and you need to be very careful. And in the beginning, most of the time, you don't really realize it because you think you have this infinite amount of time, and if you don't do it today, you postpone it to tomorrow, and it doesn't matter anyway, right? But let me tell you something. It matters because it's the first step of responsibility that you are going to take as a freelance creative. And what I mean by that is, as a freelance creative, you have the freedom to do anything you want, whenever you want it, period. And that freedom often actually hinders you in progressing at your craft, because you, in theory at least, can do anything you want. Whenever you want it, just do it. But then you don't. And I think it's so easy to talk about all the ways you can improve your workflow, all the ways to make stuff better, or make your creatives look better, make your videos look smoother, make your photos look sharper, or make your composition game on point, and anything. But the foundation for that all, at least in my opinion, is not being talked enough about, because it's something almost every creator struggles with. Every creator I talk with over my little career now from 10 years plus has that problem. Either a beginner, an intermediate, a professional, or even a master, like personal heroes of mine, have these problems, because you can't control, or it's hard to control, these excuses and these, some call it creative blocks. I don't think that's a thing, but I'm gonna do a separate video about the creative process in itself, and how you can improve that when you made the first step and actually started. I actually forgot that thought process. I'm so sorry. I need to be aware of my surroundings just a little bit. And also that lighting change makes me really look dark. Sorry. It's gonna get better in a second. Perfect. So, yeah, that's a little ramble about that. And what I would love to read down in the comments is, what are your excuses? What's your excuse that you use when you don't want to do stuff? When you are in a situation and you need, you probably need to do stuff, but you don't because, well, that excuse was just right over there for you to grab it. What's your excuses? And let's get them all out. Let's talk about it. And let's have a healthy and friendly discussion on how to overcome these situations and how to overcome these roadblocks that actually are in your way and in the way between you and the stuff you want to achieve, rather than focus on anything else down the road. Let's get that first barrier out the way and accept that little barriers will stay there indefinitely. But let's talk about that. Again, if you like that kind of content, if you like that, well, so to speak, like unedited real talk, and not a polished PR version every once in a while, just let me know. Subscribe, like the video if you like it, smash it if you like it really much. And also, if you have ideas on how to improve that kind of content and not the stuff I usually do in the studio, just let me know. Have a great Saturday, have a great weekend. hug a person you really like, drink on you because you're awesome. See you next Saturday. Peace.